Thank you guys so much for all the support and encouragement that you've given me over the past couple days. I wouldn't have the confidence to do this without you guys. First off, happy National Puppy Day. This is Piper, and this is Mia. They're both rescues, and I love them both so much. So hug your dog today if you have one, and if not, hug your cat. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about my own mental health, kind of aside from all of this with COVID-19, and talk about kind of why I advocate for mental health today. So if you knew me in high school, I was super into music. I was a class clown, and I tried to exude a lot of confidence. And if you knew me in college, I was really into my education, and I was going to school to be a high school social studies teacher. It was a big passion of mine. Behind all of that, I was experiencing a lot of anxiety and mental health issues that I couldn't describe. There were times when I didn't go to school because I was afraid that I would have an anxiety attack. My main anxieties have been health-wise and also just safety concerns. So I would be afraid that I was going to throw up. Emetophobia is the fear of vomiting, and I have experienced that for as long as I could remember, probably my whole life. And it's gotten in the way of a lot of things that I've wanted to do. I never went away to camp for more than 3 days. I left sleepovers early. I didn't go to parties when people would drink because I was afraid someone would throw up. So that was a really big hurdle for me, and I still deal with it today. Although my safety concerns were present in high school, I didn't really deal with them until college. When I was a junior in college, the Sandy Hook shooting happened and the Boston Marathon bombings happened, and that completely just switched up my perception of safety. And when I was in college, I started to experience a lot of anxiety and paranoia, and it got in the way of my studies. I would constantly be checking around and making sure the classroom was safe, the library was safe. I started to make escape plans for every room I was in. It was really exhausting, but since I was so dedicated to my schoolwork and my part-time jobs, I really just ignored it and hoped when my junior year ended that I would be able to kind of cope a little bit better and that the stress would alleviate once my semester ended. But that did not happen. A few days after my junior year of college ended, I had a mental break, and I thought someone was following me home in my car at night. And that night led to my first severe panic attack, and it took my mom hours to get me to calm down and go to sleep. And after that, my whole world changed. I began seeing a therapist regularly. I couldn't drive because I was so anxious and paranoid, and my doctors thought that it would be safest for me to go to the hospital to get my medications managed. So I spent, puppies. I spent the next 6 months in and out of the hospital, and I spent a total of 3 months in the hospital. So after my last hospitalization, my meds were finally at an okay point, and I had to decide what I was going to do with school. I went back for one class, and the whole time I struggled. I wasn't ready, but I couldn't shake that desire to finish my education. I ended up taking a break from school after that class ended because it was just too much for me. It was impeding on my recovery. And so I spent the next couple of years focusing solely on getting better and recovery. And I realized in that time that I wanted to work in the mental health field. I saw so many situations where people needed an advocate, and I wanted to be able to be that advocate. Eventually, I signed up for a session of the TMI Project where I wrote my own personal story and performed it for people. And I talked about my situation, my hospitalizations, and once it was out in the open, I was ready to address that part of my life that I felt so much shame for. So then I started blogging, and that blogging got me comfortable enough to enroll in school again. And I got my degree in community and human services, and I am now in graduate school for social work. I didn't expect my life to be mental health related, but I'm so happy that it is. I would have been a good teacher, but I'm going to be an even better social worker. So if you have any questions about OCD, anxiety, emetophobia, please reach out. I'm not a licensed mental health professional yet, but I've lived a lot, and I want to be able to use my own struggles to help you guys. So please reach out. I'm here for you, and I'm excited to be on this vlogging journey with you guys. I think that being able to connect and not feel so isolated is going to be really healing for everyone. So please post videos, tell your story, and reach out. I hope you guys have a wonderful night and stay healthy.